What's up, guys? Nate Helming here of The Run Experience. We are talking frequently asked questions for runners. Now, these two things I want to talk about are two of my favorites, and they really apply to all runners: chafing and just faster, easier recovery tips. How we just really get the benefits of the run and the hard workout we did, and how we recover so that we can go and run hard again. Two of my favorite things. Now, they apply to everyone, but I'm particularly thinking about those long runners out there, you half marathoners, and ultra runners out there, because these two issues come up a lot, and they're really, really important to really think about. The first one is going to be this chafing. Now, with runners, we chafe a lot, and or some of us chafe a lot anyway, and the usual hot spots are the armpits, even the nips, and then especially the thighs, right, the legs. And I want to talk about this chafing here at the legs because there's something about your posture and your running position that really plays a role. Now, of course, I need to choose the right pair of shorts, and I need to figure out if I need to use some sort of anti-chafing cream, or some Body Glide is something that's used not only in the running world but also the triathlon world. Those two things are important, but I need to think about my posture, and this is what I mean. Last week in our Tuesday Tips email, we talked about screwing our feet into the ground a little bit, and what that did was created some grounded stability, right, where we feel really strong. I'm not standing like this all the time. I'm learning how to be equal through my feet. My heels and big toes are pressed in the ground. My belly and butt's tight. I'm very tall. I'm very stacked. And I'm just very lightly screwing my feet in. And what this does is creates a little stability at the hip that translates down to the knee and to the ankle. Some people ask me if this is a technique that I invented. Absolutely not. If you want to learn more, check out Dr. Kelly Starrett's mobilitywod.com. It's a fantastic resource. These are some techniques that he's talked about. I've gotten to learn a lot from him in person. So once I have this, I realize a few things. I could jump up and down. I'm strong and I'm grounded. And even for people who have legs that are a little bit bigger, you're going to notice that your legs touch, but really not that much. The issue with chafing is not when we just have a little rub, but when we get a lot of rub. And usually that rub starts to occur when we collapse. So this is what I mean. I want you to take this posture. You're here, you're tall, and then all of a sudden, you're up on one leg. Now, if I do this for a while, I'm pretty good, but what happens when we run? We start to fatigue. When we fatigue, we start to break down. And notice that my hips were level. This hip starts to drop and collapse. When I start to see that drop, notice that my legs are starting to swing into each other a whole lot more, and this is that recipe for chafage, right? This is why that's starting to happen. So the more we can think about being tall and connected through here, we're going to start to solve this problem. Just something I wanted to show you even from the side. I'm up tall, I start to collapse, I bring myself back up again, I'm a lot better. Simple thing, can I add a little bit of single leg balance, single leg swings in there, and think about this little hip hike motion a few times before I go out and run, maybe 5 to 10 reps. Do it in the middle of your run and again at the end, and just sort of notice and bring some awareness to this area. All right, this next frequently asked question I get is, how do I, as a runner, recover faster? I'm doing my long runs. I'm just trying to balance even my regular running schedule with the rest of my family. I feel like I'm exhausted all the time. What are some little easy things I can do? Well, this is one of the easiest things you can do, and it's so powerful. In fact, I was talking to a friend of mine who's a yoga teacher, and she said that doing this leg up against a wall, or right here, a picnic table, is the equivalent of like a 30-minute nap. It can be very mentally calming, physically restorative, and we'll talk about why in a second, but I just want to get into this position. Now, I'm going in here because I'm using this picnic table. I'm outside. I like the outdoors. I also don't want to scuff my walls, so I want to think about that. Of course, if you have walls, you can just put socks on and you're good to go. For me, I don't want to get in trouble with my wife. We'll put it that way. So I'm just going to slide my butt in here to the ground, and what I'm going to do is just kick my hips up here, my legs up here. If I can, try to inch myself in a little bit closer, trying to make my feet as vertical as possible. Now, there are a few things I want to think about once I'm here. My hands can go palm up down by the side. I want to get comfortable. I want to think about lifting my head, tucking my chin a little bit, and then just lengthening it back down so that my neck is nice and long. Now, from here, I'm just going to hang out. And I can hang out here for at least 10 minutes. I could go longer if I want to, and a few things are going to happen. One, forces me to sit still, and I can focus on some nice deep breaths from here. With my hand on my belly, I can think about practicing those belly breaths for those of you guys who are really working on your breathing with your running. The other thing that's going to be fantastic is gravity is just going to help pull all this blood out of my legs and just help expedite my circulation, take a little stress off the circulatory system just by letting gravity take over for a little bit. That's going to be very, very helpful. And I'm just going to spend some time here. I could change my hand positions if I need to. If this is uncomfortable, I could put a little pillow or cushion underneath my legs. Of course, if I wanted, I could get a yoga mat out here as well. But I add 10 minutes of this a day, and I'm going to start to feel like a brand new runner when I hit the roads tomorrow morning. So there you have it. We answered our 2 key questions today. One on chafing. It's not just about the shorts and the equipment and the gear, it's and the little lube. It's also about our body position, our posture, how we sit, how we stand every single day, how we stand on one leg. If we collapse, we don't just sort of lose position in our spine, our hips start to collapse, and then we start to see that chafing occur. So that's once again feedback that my running position is not that good, and no surprise that we break down as the run gets a little bit longer, right? The second one was, hey, how do I recover a little bit faster? What's an easy thing I can do to make my life a lot better? I don't necessarily want to afford a massage or anything crazy. I can throw my legs up against a table, up against a wall, and I can just take a few deep breaths. I can relax for 10 minutes, and I'm going to feel a whole lot better tomorrow. Well, there you go, Nate Helming for TRE. Make sure you like us on Facebook. Of course, you're on our email list, and we got more great stuff coming for you, so stay tuned.